This is my wing mirror after I trashed it on the way back from the last show. And this little video is going to be about fixing that boot boot ready for ultimate stance. First thing to do is going to be to carefully remove this trim with a plastic trim tool so we can get to the bolt behind. Just a one bolt to undo to get it off. It looks like a 13. And it is. That's a mirror off. Nice and easy. Just going to put a bit of paper in that hole just in case any creepy crawlies in the garage want to make themselves inside the car in the meantime. Don't want spider webs in there. So I'm going to get it rubbed down and prepped, ready for some primer. I've got ultimate stance coming up, so I want to get it done and looking good. Give the chipped edge a little blast over with some 180 grit sandpaper first of all. Onto a 320. And some water in my spray bottle. Spray on the area. For some wet sanding. That's perfect. I can't feel that whatsoever now. Let it dry off. And that's what we are now dealing with. Put some primer on that. I'll give it a scotch first. And this is what you call Scotch Brite. Rocking around here with like used stuff, like this is an old piece. But it still does the same job. Just going to scotch up the area now. I'm going to mask up the base because that doesn't really need painting. Just paint the mirror itself. Yeah, I'm going to scotch it up now, panel wipe it, put some primer on it, and then be ready for some paint. And some primer. Just using some Halford Special because it's only a little job. Drying off the primer between coats with the heat gun, and another bit of water sprayed on, and then onto the wet and dry sandpaper again. Give it a nice flat, removing any of the last few imperfections before giving it another few coats of primer, a final flat with the wet and dry, and then onto some paint. I decided I was being lazy, not prepping and priming the whole mirror and the base and everything, so that's what I decided to go ahead and do. And now the whole mirror is primed, it's time to wet the whole thing, wet flat the whole mirror, get it ready for some top coat, get it nice and smooth so that the finish on the top coat looks great. That is one mirror ready for a lick of paint. First coat will just be a light coat of colour, and then I'll dry it off with the heat gun, get it tacky so that the next few coats, when I start laying on a bit thicker, will have something to stick to. And taking the time to make sure I get some colour into all those hard to reach places. And that is the first coat all done. Next coat, once again starting off in the hard to reach places, all those nooks and crannies, before giving the whole mirror a thorough coat. Tongue out, of course, always helps. And also thinning the paint slightly between coats so that with each coat the paint gradually flows more and gives it that nice shiny finish. Another dry off with the heat gun for the final time before also thinning the paint for the last time, ready for the last coat. Final coat now, you know the drill. Nooks and crannies first. Make sure you get paint in all the hard to reach places before giving the whole mirror a thorough coat. Get that paint flowing and get that shine on the finish. There is plenty of paint on that now, so any imperfections I should be able to lose in the polishing if need be. So now the paint's all hardened off nice, it's time to wet fight it. I'm going to start with a bit of 2500, moving over to 3000, and then I'm on the polisher. So my random orbital polisher is under repair at the moment, so we're going to have to go full metal jacket and go in with the rotary, which is a bit more risky because it's easier to burn through paint, but I'm sure we'll be fine. With a few bits, a couple of little bits in the paint from outside, nothing major, they're only very small bits, but enough to see them, and when you're indoors under that show lighting you are definitely going to spot them, so definitely worth the wet flat. Tool with that that rotary polisher as well, I haven't really got the lowest of speed, so it's quite risky. Yeah, just have to be real careful with it because it is a bit dangerous for this, especially something like this where it's got a lot of edges on it, because obviously the edges are where the paint's usually thinnest, and there's a high risk of burning through. So I guess we'll just have to give it a go. See what happens. If all goes sideways, there's always the paint going again in there. Well, I'm just going with a medium cutting polish for this with this old knackered pad. Oh. Oh, she went off. A little bit too excited too quickly. Here goes nothing. One speed, kill. Let's rub that in so it doesn't spray everywhere. There we go. Best not to burn through the edges, because this, as you can see, has no slow speed. It's kill, even that is like the slowest speed it's got, and it goes all the way up to 6, so God knows what 6 looks like. Don't think we'll ever try that. Right, I'm going to switch now to a softer pad and go with the finishing compound. I use all Menzerna products. This is one step, so this is a polish, a fine polish, and a filler, and a bit of polish in it as well. Well, a bit of black wax in it as well. So 3-in-1. It's called, yeah, that's what it's called, 3-in-1 Menzerna polish. But it's what I use for finish off my paint once I've machine polished it with the more coarse compounds. One mirror all done and looking beautiful. Put the mirror back together now, put the fittings back in. I can find where I put them, there's that. Yeah, the little black piece that clips in the bottom. Yep. And then the mirror glass. Just click that back in. That's it. Right then, get it bolted on the car. Take the bolt out of the bottom of the mirror. That's what I've been using to clamp it into the vise with whilst I've been painting. Take out my paper. That was stopping the creepy crawlies getting in my car, or even mice. I don't know, there's some mice in here, who knows? Finger tight, got my 13mm spanner. 13. Nip her up. Lovely jubbly. This piece inside the plastic cover. Right then. That's it. One mirror back on the car. Good as new. And that's a mirror repaired, back on the car, and we're ready for ultimate stance. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. See you at ultimate stance, guys.